isn't clear. We got to go slow, because I think that my job is security. I think that my family is security.
You may lose it.
That problem keeps coming up.
Unemployment in America and in England. There are 3 million people unemployed in England.
Well, maybe I could get by without my job, but I need to think that I have some self-respect. I need to...
What do you mean self-respect?
Well, what I'm trying to say is that there's some place at which I put an identification.
Why should I want to identify with anything, sir, that makes immediate isolation?
For stability's sake.
Does isolation bring about stability?
It gives one a sense of something hard and firm.
Yeah. Does it? Has it? We have had, in the last 5 years, 5,000 years, nearly 5,000 wars. Is that stability?
No.
Why don't we, well, I won't go into all that. What's wrong with us?
Well, why don't we see this then? You're saying that the root of the problem is that I continue to identify with one thing after another. If one doesn't work, I just find something else. I don't stop identifying.
Yes, sir, which breeds isolation.
But in your example about the person that's stuck in a rut, you say, I don't have to identify. I can just step back and look at this thing and see if it's true.
Yes.
So you're suggesting that there is something that is not identified, something that's free to look.
Now, this leads to something else. Why do I want to identify myself? Probably, basically, the desire to be secure, to be safe, to be protected, and that sense gives me strength.
Strength and purpose, direction.
It gives me strength.
Yeah.
But this is a biological fact.
Yes,
and it's not merely an illusion. And if we, again, to come back to the animal kingdom, we see it there. Deer go around in flocks, birds have flocks, bees have hives, and they're identified with the hive in which they work.
But the bees don't kill themselves. Species don't kill themselves.
Well, they kill each other. They kill other bees that invade their hive. They don't commit suicide. They kill other ones.
But we are.
Well, yes and no. I mean, bees do fight other bees.
Of course,
I know that.
I've raised bees, I know.
So there is, we see even in the animal kingdom, this identification with the group in the social animals.
Yes,
there are many social animals.
Just a minute.
And we're social.
Agree. Are we, by identifying ourselves with India or China or Germany, is that giving us security?
To a limited extent it is. And by identifying ourselves with our families does, because this whole question of responsibility seems closely linked to it. If I identify myself with my family, feel duties and so on towards them, protect if my sister's insulted, I rush to her defense and make a big fuss about it, and threaten, if not actually kill, the people who insulted her.
We have no sisters.
Yes, fortunately. So, if I protect members of my family and defend them, rush to their defense, so an insult to them or an attack to them is an insult to me, so I rush to their defense. There's a reciprocal obligation on them. If I fall ill or sick, they'll feed me and look after me. If I get arrested by the police, they'll try and get me out of prison, and so on. So it does give me a kind of security. It actually works.
Of course.
And that's very good reason for doing it for most people.
But stretch it further, from the family to the community to the nation, so on, so on. That's a vast process of isolating. You are English, I'm German, and we are a teacher's throat. And I said, for God's sake, this is so damn stupid.
Well, it's not entirely stupid, because it works to a certain extent.
It is most impractical. It may work, but it's impractical. It's killing each other.
Well, we haven't killed each other yet. There are more human beings than there ever have been before. So the system so far has gone on to the point where, far from killing each other, we've actually got to the point where we've got a bigger population than the world's ever seen in its whole past. So the system works only too well, for some reason.
So you propose war to kill all?
No. But there's some aspect of it that does work, and some security that's genuine that these things confer.
Yes, sir. At certain level, identification has certain importance, right? But at a higher level, if you can call it higher, it becomes dangerous. That's all we're saying. Of course, I'm sure my brother will look out for me.
It's very hard to draw the line. You see, that starts spreading out.
That's right, spreading out.
It slips.
That's what I'm saying, objecting.
But you see, the question is, where do you draw the line? Because if you're my brother, then you have the tribe or the clan, or in India, the caste.
That's it.
Yeah, you
That's
have your
it.
friends.
And then
Extend it. And then we say, I am Argentine, you are British, he's French, and we are economically, socially, culturally, we're murdering each other. And I said, but that's so insane.
But where do you draw the line? You see, if you say the nation state is wrong, then what's wrong with the tribe or the caste? Then you've got conflict between those.
No,
you've got conflict between families.
I won't draw the line. I say I'm responsible as a human being for what is happening in the world. Because I'm a human. And so what is happening in the world is this terrible division. And I won't be a Hindu. I won't be a Catholic, Protestant, Buddhist, nothing. If 100 people or 1,000 people like that would begin to do something.
So you're saying that the problem comes up because I mistake my local security. I think that it rests in some local identification.
Yes, which is isolation. And therefore, in isolation, there's no security. And therefore, there's no order.